Welcome to Stoic Wisdom. Please subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Compliment 1. I love the way you think. Most men, when they see a woman, get caught up in the obvious. They compliment her beauty, her style, maybe even her laughter. But very few men ever compliment her mind. And that is why this compliment is so powerful. Saying, "I love the way you think," is not the same as calling her smart. Intelligence can mean many things. Book smarts, quick wit, creativity, problem solving. But this compliment goes deeper. It tells her that the way she processes the world, the way she forms her thoughts, the way she sees life, is something you find fascinating. This works on a psychological level because human beings don't just want to be admired for what they know. They want to be valued for how they see things, for their perspective, for their unique lens on the world. Now, here's where the Stoic element comes in. A Stoic man is an observer. He pays attention. He listens. He sees beyond surfaces. And when you notice the way a woman's mind works, you are proving that you are not just another man dazzled by appearances. You are attentive to her essence. For example, if she makes a thought-provoking observation, you might say, "I never looked at it that way before. I love how your mind works." If she asks a question that cuts deeper than most, tell her, "You always ask the kind of questions that make me think. I love that about you." If she approaches a problem with creativity or logic, you can say, "The way you think things through is rare. I respect that. Do you see the difference? This is not flattery. This is recognition." And here's what happens next. She feels deeply seen. Most men will never touch this level of acknowledgement. She feels a desire to show you more of her mind, because now she is curious about how you perceive her. The attraction shifts from the surface to the intellectual and emotional. When a woman starts thinking about how you see her, when she starts considering what you notice about her that others overlook, that's when her interest in you stops being casual. It becomes personal. It becomes deep. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you admire her thoughts, you're admiring her very soul. And no woman forgets the man who first made her feel that her soul was beautiful. Compliment 2. I feel calm around you. Most men think attraction is all about excitement, making her laugh, creating butterflies, sparking adrenaline. And yes, excitement has its place. But if excitement alone held relationships together, then every comedian and thrill seeker would be irresistible to women forever. The truth is, excitement is fleeting. It rises quickly and fades just as quickly. What keeps a woman coming back, what makes her stay, is not just the thrill of being around you, but the peace she feels in your presence. That is why the words, "I feel calm around you," carry such incredible weight. Notice something. This compliment is not about her looks, her charm, or even her wit. It's about her presence, the way her very being interacts with yours. It tells her that who she is, at her core, changes the way you feel inside. Psychologically, this compliment works on 3 levels. 1. It values something she may not even realize she possesses. Most people, women included, are used to being complimented on the obvious: beauty, humor, intelligence. But very few are ever told that their presence itself changes the emotional temperature of a room. Telling her that she makes you feel calm is like holding up a mirror to a side of her she rarely sees. It makes her pause. It makes her feel rare. 2. It creates a subconscious association. Humans are wired to return to whatever makes them feel good. If you associate her with calmness, peace, and grounding, she will subconsciously want to be around you more. Because when she is with you, she feels valued for something deeper than appearance. She feels like she provides something essential, something nourishing. 3. It shifts the power dynamic. Think about it. Most compliments are a chase. You're beautiful. You're so funny. You're amazing. They're attempts to win her over. But saying, "I feel calm around you," flips the frame. Instead of you chasing her, you are acknowledging an effect she has on you. That subtle shift makes her wonder, what is it about me that has this effect on him? And once a woman starts thinking about how she affects you, attraction deepens. Now here's where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics taught us to value peace above all. Epictetus reminded us that freedom is the right to live as we wish. And what does every human truly wish for? Freedom from anxiety, freedom from chaos, freedom from noise. When you tell a woman, "I feel calm around you," you are speaking directly to this timeless human need. You are saying, you are a refuge. You are the stillness in a storm. Let me give you some scenarios. If she naturally slows down the pace of a conversation, you might say, "You know, when I'm with you, I feel like the world stops rushing for a moment. I feel calm around you. It's rare." If she helps you relax after a stressful day, you can tell her, "Being around you just takes the edge off. I can't explain it, but I love that about you." If she carries herself with steady confidence, you could say, "You have this way of making everything feel simple and clear. I respect that." Think carefully about this. Most men chase excitement because they think women want fireworks, but fireworks burn out. What women crave, especially women of depth, is a place where they can rest. And once she realizes that you see her as that place, once she knows that her mere presence is enough to give you peace, she will want to be that place for you again and again. Because at the end of the day, people don't stay where they feel the most entertained. They stay where they feel the most at home. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Know where you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." But when you find someone whose presence mirrors that peace, it is one of the most magnetic forces on earth. Compliment 3. You have a presence that changes the room. Most people walk into a room and nothing changes. The conversations continue as they were. The atmosphere stays the same. The energy remains flat. But then, there are rare individuals whose presence shifts the entire dynamic the moment they arrive. They don't have to speak loudly. They don't have to announce themselves. Simply by being there, they alter the current. Maybe they bring lightness, like a fresh breeze that makes people relax. Maybe they bring intrigue, making others lean in just a little closer. Maybe they bring gravity, that unspoken weight that makes the room more serious, more alive. And when you notice this in a woman, and you name it, you become unforgettable. Because this isn't about her looks. It's not about her style. It's about something most people can't even articulate. It's about her energy. Here's why this compliment strikes so deeply. 1. It validates the intangible. Most women don't realize the effect they have on a room. They may notice stares, glances, or attention, but rarely does someone point out the shift in atmosphere they create. When you say, "You change the energy of a room when you walk in," you are naming something she may have felt but never had words for. And naming it makes it real. 2. It sets you apart as an observer. Most men notice the surface. You notice the ripple effect. That alone puts you in a completely different category. You're not impressed by her for the obvious reasons. You're impressed because you see what others don't. 3. It ties attraction to her essence, not her appearance. Looks fade, styles change, but presence, the way someone feels to be around, that lingers forever. Now let's put this in context with Stoic thought. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, your inner state radiates outward. It colors your actions, your words, and yes, even the atmosphere around you. So when you compliment a woman's presence, you are acknowledging the state of her soul. That is why it feels so powerful, because it's not just about what she has, it's about who she is. Here are some examples of how you might use this in real life. At a gathering, if you notice the room becoming livelier after she enters, you could say, "You know what I love about you? The moment you walk in, the whole room feels different. You change the energy without even trying." If she has a calming influence, you might say, "It's interesting. When you're here, everything feels steadier, like the room takes a deep breath." If she has a magnetic aura, you could tell her, "People can't help but notice when you arrive. You shift things. It's like the room pays attention." Do you see what's happening? This is not surface-level admiration. It's a deep acknowledgement of her impact, and human beings crave that. We want to believe that our presence matters, that we are not invisible, that we leave an imprint. When you give her this compliment, you're telling her, "You matter in ways you may not even realize," and that makes you unforgettable. Because here's the truth. Most men compete to get a woman's attention. The Stoic man shows that he is paying attention. Seneca once said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." A woman with a presence that shifts a room is living proof of that power. She doesn't conquer with force. She doesn't conquer with volume. She conquers by being. And when you are the man who notices that and speaks it, you elevate her in her own eyes. Compliment 4. You make things more interesting just by being part of them. Attraction isn't only about admiration, it's about engagement. A woman doesn't just want to be looked at. She wants to feel that her presence changes the experience. That's what makes this compliment so powerful. You're not just saying she's beautiful or kind. You're saying she adds something unique to the world around her. Most compliments focus on traits, looks, humor, kindness, but this one shifts the frame. It says, it's not just who you are, it's what happens when you're involved. Psychologically, this does two things at once. First, it tells her that she elevates her surroundings. Second, it sparks curiosity. She begins to think, how do I make things more interesting? What is it about me that he notices? That curiosity keeps her thinking about you. Here's an example. If you're at a casual gathering, you might say, "You know, I like being here, but you make it feel different. Things are just more interesting when you're around." Or if she's part of a conversation that suddenly feels more engaging, you could say, "I was enjoying this, but you made it better. You have a way of making things more alive." This compliment is not just flattery. It plants a seed. It makes her wonder what effect she has on you and on the world. And people are naturally drawn to those who show them their own value. The Stoics would say this: value is not in possessions, but in the way we live and act. Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you tell a woman she makes things more interesting, you're pointing out not what she owns, not what she wears, but the effect of her existence. And that is unforgettable. Compliment 5. I respect the way you handle challenges. Most men stop at beauty. Some go as far as personality. But very few notice and acknowledge how a woman carries herself when life gets heavy. This is why this compliment stands apart. It's not about appearance. It's not about charm. It's about resilience. Every woman has faced battles you'll never see. Silent struggles, difficult decisions, days when she had to choose strength over ease. When you say, "I respect the way you handle challenges," you are telling her that you see beyond the surface. You see the warrior within. Psychologically, this works because respect goes deeper than attraction. Attraction is temporary. Respect is lasting. A woman who feels respected feels safe, and safety is the root of lasting connection. Think about it. Compliments on beauty can make her smile. Compliments on resilience make her pause. They make her reflect. They make her feel recognized. For example, maybe she mentioned a time she balanced work and family under pressure. You could say, "That couldn't have been easy. I respect how you managed it. Not many people could." Or if she talks about a season of difficulty, you can simply say, "I admire the strength it must have taken to get through that." Notice the difference? You're not praising what was given to her. You're praising what she built within herself. The Stoics would nod in agreement. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When you recognize her strength, you're not just complimenting her. You're reminding her that she has already lived out Stoic truth, that obstacles have shaped her into who she is today, and no compliment reaches deeper than that. Compliment 6. The way you treat people inspires me. Some compliments touch the mind, others touch the heart, but this one touches the soul. Why? Because it doesn't just notice what she does for you. It notices how she treats everyone. Most people are polite when they want something, but true character shows in how someone treats a waiter, a stranger, or even someone who can give them nothing in return. When you say, "The way you treat people inspires me," you're telling her, "I see your goodness when no one is looking." This is powerful because it praises her character, and character is the rarest beauty of all. Think about it. Looks may fade, charms may change, but kindness leaves ripples that echo forever. Psychologists know this. People who are recognized for their inner values feel a sense of lasting validation. They're not being praised for something temporary. They're being honored for something eternal. Here's an example. Maybe you watched her comfort a friend, or you saw her show patience when others were quick to judge. You could say, "The way you cared for them, it really inspired me. That's rare." Or simply, "I admire how you make people feel seen and valued. Not many do that." Notice, this compliment shifts the focus from attraction to admiration, from "I want you" to "I respect you deeply." And that shift creates trust. Trust builds emotional intimacy, and emotional intimacy, that's where real connection lives. The Stoics taught us that virtue is the highest good. Marcus Aurelius himself reminded us, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." When you admire her kindness, you're not just complimenting her. You're holding up a mirror to her highest virtue, and that's a gift no woman forgets.